make a video on this if you love making content so much, LOL. Why does that kind of sound like a threat? Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today, we're going to be talking about something that Flo suggested. Flo said that I think the devs should give killers a brown add-on that gives them Shadowborn. So basically having a whole perk as a brown add-on for every killer that gives them that 15 extra field of view. I cannot play killer with the default field of view because it gives me a headache. I really dislike always having to use a perk slot for Shadowborn. It limits the creativity of my builds big time. I think this would be very easy for the devs to implement. I just think they need to be nudged enough to actually do it. You making a video about it can make another small nudge to make the dreams come true. Okay, first off, the devs certainly don't give a hoot about my videos. They don't care what I say. If other bigger content creators make tons and tons of like videos talking about game balance and the way the game should be, and the devs don't listen to them, I doubt they're going to listen to a little Andy like me. But if you want my take, you want to know what I think about this, giving Shadowborn as a brown add-on to every killer, I think it's just kind of strange because when I go into any other game, I've been playing a lot of Siege lately, Rainbow Six Siege. That's one game that has it. I go into a lot of other games, and field of view, the FOV, is just a slider that's in the menu, and it's just there for everybody to use. You can play on the default, you can lower it, you can raise it, you can basically play on whatever field of view that you so desire, whatever works for you. And I especially feel this way with Shadowborn on, like, for example, Nurse. One of the main reasons I don't play Nurse is not actually because of any sort of, like, you know, I don't want to be a bad killer. I want to not play somebody who has zero counterplay. Like, it's not an honor thing. It's not an honor thing. The reason you don't really see Nurse on the channel too much up in the B-roll up at the top is because I really don't play her because she makes me motion sick. She legitimately makes me motion sick. She gives me really bad vertigo. One of the things that helps with that, doesn't get rid of it. One of the things that really helps with that is putting on Shadowborn. Putting on Shadowborn, you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like, I guess it's just kind of like the, you know, she blinks and then the whole screen like tears like really as she's going really fast. And then, you know, after you hit or land, she immediately throws her head down and like bobs and like your camera's jerking all over the place. I don't know. Something about that just kind of makes me incredibly nauseous. And it's why you don't see me play her, is because, like, fun fact, like most people, I don't really enjoy being nauseous. It's not a feeling I am a fan of, and it's not a feeling I enjoy enduring. But at least Shadowborn helps kind of mitigate that a little bit. I can stomach her for like a game or two before that nauseous feeling starts actually kicking in. So it'd be nice if we had just a field of view slider inside the menu to help deal with this sort of thing. That way I could actually, you know, like I said, not actually have to just waste a whole perk slot just to be able to actually play this character without getting motion sick. I know a lot of people feel this way about Blight as well, especially when they start tacking on speed add-ons. He starts going incredibly fast. And it starts getting a little nauseous, start getting a little vertigo when you're going like way too quickly. So some people have to use Shadowborn on characters like that to avoid getting sick. And I'm always on the side of like accessibility, that we shouldn't feel sick or like or have problems accessing the game for health reasons. I don't think I think you should, as a game company, fight that as much as possible. You know, and what's within reason, of course. Like, do your best. You know, we can't have everything. But they should always be, you know, fighting to have as much of that in the game as possible. Now, the thing I will mention, the thing that I will briefly mention, because I'm not going to get into this. I'm already going to say this. I'm not going to get into this. Is putting in like an active field of view slider into the game. You would have to make that also available for the survivor side. Which, you know, if you're relatively new to the DBD community, there was an old controversy a while back called stretched res, which gave you that extra field of view on survivors by stretching your screen resolution. And the reason this was a problem is because it quite literally allowed you to see over loops. And everybody who tells you that it was just so they couldn't see over loops and it didn't actually help that much was outright lying to you. And it was the biggest like controversy of like I feel like in recent memory, like since I've been in the game, that was kind of like the biggest like, you know, sweat thing that like a survivor could do, was, you know, have stretched resolution. And everybody always kind of like copiumed it and said it was like, oh, it's just because it looks better. And then you go on their streams and their entire screen is freaking warped and everything looks distorted and weird. It wasn't because it looked good. Like I will still die on that hill that like people, for the most part, not everyone, but I would say like 90% of people did it for a competitive advantage, because when you stretch the resolution of the screen, you can quite literally see up and over, especially the auto-haven loops. The auto-haven loops are really bad for that, because the auto-haven loops are already not as tall as other loops in the game, just kind of naturally. So you could see right over them. So when you're trying to do like a mind game as a killer behind a wall, and the killer should the survivor should theoretically not even be able to see you, now they will be able to. Or now they were able to with that. And that gave them more informed decisions on how to, you know, counterplay you with information that they really shouldn't have. So that opens a can of worms, doesn't it? If we're going to add a FOV slider, that does kind of like start adding in things back into the game that it's kind of like, you know, that we've already fought. We've already done battle with this. Stretch res has been dealt away with. So you'd have to be careful with how you implement it. To make sure that you're not accidentally reintroducing something that that behavior went out of their way to intentionally remove from the game because it was an unfair advantage for one side. I'm not going to give you a definitive answer on that, honestly, because like, I'm going to be real. That stress res conversation was so agonizing to have all the time, because basically you couldn't change anybody's minds about it, and everybody had like the most backwards biased opinions about it, and it was just an unfun conversation to have. And it was just like, I just hated that whole era of DBD. I hated having that conversation in DBD. So I don't know, I'm just gonna kind of I know it's kind of boring, and I know it's like, you know, you come here to hear me spout opinions about things, but like I've said my piece about stretch res, about that whole situation. I really don't want to talk about it anymore. You know, that chapter of my DBD life is closed. I don't want to deal with that anymore. So yeah, like I said, most games have a field of view slider, and I'm all for having more accessibility in the game. So that's kind of this side that I err on. I don't think it should be a brown add-on. I think it should just be, I think DBD is just in general kind of really lacking on it, and just like simple accessibility issues. Like they don't have a field of view slider. They don't even have a brightness slider in their game. Almost every game comes with like a brightness slider, but this game doesn't even come with a brightness slider, which is like the bare basics. Like this game is really behind in terms of just like its base options, like its base settings and what you can adjust. So yeah, they should definitely you know, get on that. So yeah, that's what I feel about that. There's the video, you asked for it, there it is. So yeah, tell me guys what you think down in the comments below. But that's a bit for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in tomorrow's video, because I do upload daily, but if I don't see you there, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.